This is my impression of you clicking on this video. Oh, Techlinked, let's see what happened in the tech world today. Apple has become the first American company to hit a $2 trillion market value. Wow, it feels like it's only been 2 years since they hit 1 trillion, and that's because that's correct. Apple is reaching this milestone while embroiled in a legal battle with Epic Games, who is attempting to get Cupertino to capitulate on the 30% cut it takes from all transactions on the iOS App Store. That so-called Apple tax has been a huge driver for Apple's growth, particularly because the amount of income it generates dwarfs the amount of resources it takes to run the App Store. It made $260 billion from it in 2019.
A bit of an own goal at this point.
Yeah. Apple says they just want Epic to abide by the App Store guidelines and will not make an exception for Fortnite, even though they've shown that they can and will make exceptions for the likes of Amazon, who only pays a 15% cut on Prime Video transactions.
And Netflix.
And yeah, them too. Apple continues to weather accusations of antitrust with a recently filed patent revealing the company is working on a cloud gaming service, which explains why Apple blocked Stadia and Project xCloud from the App Store. And the fight is only set to get more intense as Epic has reportedly approached other companies, including Spotify and Sonos, about joining a coalition to pressure Apple to alter its cut with their combined bargaining power. And yeah, Epic Games sucks too, okay? They all suck. But if Apple ends up lowering its App Store cut, I might finally be able to self-publish my app that rewards you with double the Bitcoin that you put in initially. It works. I promise, please. All new Oculus VR headsets going forward will require a Facebook account to operate.
Son of a...
According to an announcement made by the social giant yesterday. Naturally, people are kind of upset about this, especially because Facebook doesn't really try to hide the fact that it tracks things like what games you play and how long you play them, and immediately links that to the copious amounts of data it's already gathered about you on Facebook proper. It also sucks because Oculus founder and flip-flop enthusiast Palmer Luckey said this exact thing would not happen when Facebook purchased Oculus back in 2014. But this announcement was inevitable when you consider the steps that Facebook has slowly taken towards this end. First, absorbing Oculus into its own technology group, and then requiring a Facebook account for social features. But Facebook isn't all bad, okay? Their AI group just enabled MRIs to be taken in minutes instead of hours. You don't want to sit in that crazy machine for an hour, do you? So shut up and enter your damn email and password. And TikTok has published a website with various arguments about why they're not a national security threat and shouldn't be banned, but their pleas are apparently falling on deaf ears. Because Oracle, do you know who Oracle is?
Yeah, Oracle's huge.
Yeah, they're big. They've now put in their own bid to acquire the company's US operations. Microsoft was previously the frontrunner, but President Trump himself has said Oracle would be a great company, I can't do Trump, to take over, which probably has nothing to do with the fact that Oracle's chairman held a big Trump fundraiser earlier this year. But whether you love or hate Trump, as Tim Wu writes in the New York Times, the ban might be for the best, since China blocks all major social platforms from the West anyway. I don't understand how they do it. Twitter is such a good time, very fun, healthy discussions happening.
Free speech!
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by the Massdrop PC37X gaming headset. This is a collaboration with Sennheiser, meaning you get the same drivers found in the HD598 and HD600 headphones with an open back design. The mic handles unpleasant pops and hisses and also features noise canceling. If you don't need to use it, simply rotate it up until you hear a click to mute.
See you later.
Technology. You also get a 10-foot braided cable, so for clearer audio for gaming and music, check it out today at the link below. Quick Bits, come get them, and when they're happening now, get them, they're really hot. In all this TikTok nonsense, the US forgot about a loophole in their sanctions against Huawei. No! That loophole has now been closed, meaning no company worldwide is allowed to sell semiconductors made using American software or equipment if Huawei was involved at any stage of the process. Analysts say this latest move could lead to the company's quote-unquote death. Maybe pick up one of those new Ryzen-powered Matebooks as a historical artifact. Don't turn it on, though. Gamers were jazzed this week about the launch of Microsoft's latest flight simulator for some reason, but weren't so jazzed to discover that after a small initial install size, the game has to download the rest of its 90 to 150 gigs of data before you can play. And the time it takes to download it counts as playtime on Steam. And if it takes longer than 2 hours, you won't be able to get a refund. And people are upset about this, so they're asking Steam to extend the refund window. But like, are you really playing a little bit of Flight Simulator and being like, Nah.
I think this part is Flight Simulator. It's at least Airport Simulator.
It's the waiting. That's the most important part. NVIDIA has made its Geforce Now game streaming service available on Chromebooks, providing an alternative to Google Stadia for budget gamers, and taking away one of the few advantages to actually paying for Stadia. I can't think of what the other ones are right now. I'll come back to it. Some, to be perfectly honest, questionable leaks are pointing to the RTX 3090 retailing for around $2,000 US. But this has to be some kind of weird marketing campaign where they bait you with this and then reveal that it's actually only $1,300. Oh, what a steal! For that price, does it double as a folding phone? Maybe in 2022. And Blackberry just will not die. TCL will stop licensing the brand this month, but it's been picked up by Texas-based startup Onward Mobility.
Stop.
Which will produce a physical keyboard-equipped 5G handset in 2021. Here's hoping Blackberry will continue existing in a strange, undead state well into the next century.
Senescent Blackberry.
Techlinked, on the other hand, knows when to quit. So this episode is over. Come back on Friday for more tech news, because you just can't get enough, can you?